Alright, hello and welcome back to Let's Play yet another no-name MAME game. Today's no-name MAME game is one of my favorites, Scramble. Well, not really one of my favorites per se, but as one of the Konami shoot-em-ups that's kind of like my favorites. It's in arcade compilations of my favorites. It comes with time. So, Scramble, for the uninitiated, is a seizure testing device to detect a person's ability to seize. And if they are deemed not seizure-worthy, then they are allowed to go on with life without seizure medication. And if they fail the seizure test by having a seizure, then they are promptly aided. This is not a dystopia. But, anyway, it's Scramble. And I mean, actually, you might remember seeing this game from For Fun and 1. If so, then 1, I applaud your memory. That was a long time ago. And 2, yeah, it's Scramble. So, the controls, you move around with the D-pad. First button is a horizontal shot. Second button is a bomb. Bomb is great for hitting those fuel tanks and the rockets that fly up from below and destroy you. You want to have more fuel so you don't die. It's pretty nice. Yeah, I mean, no silliness like Lunar Lander, where you've got, like, gravity or anything. No, this is straight up almost a shoot-em-up. It's in one of those weird transitory periods where, I mean, things were moving from stuff that didn't resemble shoot-em-ups at all to stuff that could arguably be considered shoot-em-ups. Oh, that's bad. Oh, come on, I hit a fuel tank with my dying life. That should count for something. But, I mean, despite its slightly off-putting and jarring and rapidly changing visuals, Scramble is a pretty nice game. It's also a little difficult. I mean, this meteor stage is a little reminiscent of the Turbo Tunnel, if you really like those wacky comparisons between games. Yeah, after a while, it just kind of gets a little fatiguing, like seeing which meteors are coming ahead and like avoiding them and anticipating their path. Oh gosh. Does Scramble have a continue function? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Oh. Well, that's okay, because I just breezed through this landscape anyway. So, I mean, the first few stages are not quite so intimidating at all. I mean, this part is really just there to introduce you to the game, so you kind of see, oh, this is Scramble, oh, the backgrounds are going to keep doing that, and you can go along. It's not too often that your horizontal shot will let you, like, completely eviscerate enemies like this, so definitely enjoy it while you can. I mean, hey, it's all about fun in the end, huh? And if you look at the top, yeah, you can see how many more stages you've got going on. And, I mean, yeah, if you really want to, you can work out your timing so you always hit the fuel stages, but honestly, after a while, I mean, you saw in the meteoroid stage, the game's gonna get so hectic, it's like, you can't really do that. And then, so these little, UFO guys are there just to kind of, like, get you warmed up for the meteor stage. But, oh, they're also there to kind of test how well you can kind of multitask. Because you gotta time your shots right in order to make it into the fuel tanks, but at the same time, you take your eyes off the UFOs for a second, and, well, you get to put your eyes onto your grave. So that's not so happy, but we're loving it. Definitely a game where you've got to focus, and then focus a little harder, even still. Wow, that is, like, impossible. Although, gosh, that's like the third stage? What's on the fourth? I mean, yeah, despite my apparent experience with Scramble, I haven't really beaten it. I've kind of played here and gotten a little frustrated. Again, the game doesn't really have a continue function, so it doesn't lend itself well to, just a Saturday afternoon playing through the whole game. You've got to kind of, I don't know, personally for me with games like this, it's just, I play it every now and again, like just a little bit. Oh, this stage. It's sort of like the first stage, but everything's really cramped, and also you're probably almost out of fuel after the, crazy meteoroid stage. Not very fun. Kind of reminiscent of the worst parts of Gradius. But Yeah, so my oh my god, you like can't move. That's terrible. My strategy for games like this is you just kind of play it over and over and over again until eventually you remember all of everything. Because, I mean, you can't play it too many times in a row or else you're just gonna get sick of it. You're gonna get burned out very easily. Because a lot of the game is just, like, noticing your faults and slowly and happily correcting them. But that, again, that's really frustrating to do all in one afternoon, so don't try to master Scramble in one day, folks. Jeez. Otherwise, wait, oh, hey, extra life, I'll take it. That's great. Yeah, I don't know, extra lives, they're not ever something you want to count on in games, but when they happen, it can feel like winning the lottery. It's sort of like that pinball, the things pinball tables do, where it's like they give you the random number generator, and if you get the right random number, then you get a free game, which is really cool. Ay. I mean, yeah, it's called Scramble, but is that because you want to scramble your brains after playing it? Well, here we go for the next time around. And yeah, Scramble. I mean, it's one of Konami's earlier video games. One of their first few shoot-'em-ups. Actually, I mean, for as old as it looks, it plays really nicely. I mean, the controls... Your ship's slow, but at the same time, I mean, it gets everything done. You press up, your ship goes up. And hey, don't laugh, sometimes that's not something you can take for granted in these sorts of games. I mean, yeah, your ship's sluggish, but responsive, so acceptable. But, yeah, I mean, the fuel gimmick, that's a little insane. I mean, it really kind of gives this game a signature flair where it's like, it's throwing challenges at you and piling challenges on those challenges, so I can see it. It's just, I don't know. I like games where it's like you can focus on just one thing and all you have to do is do that one thing really well, and you don't have to worry about doing like 2 or 3 things at the same time. You just need to focus on that one thing. So it's like extra weapons, forget it. I'll just stick with my regular shot and focus in. It's, I don't know. I mean, it's like an anti-multitasking sort of mentality. Is it any better? I don't know. You figure it out. Okay. So we have auto fight, which doesn't really help. Especially too, because games like this, they just put a screen limit on how many shots you can have on the screen at once. So they saw my auto fire and raised me a little preventative again. You don't necessarily want to be bombing every time. Well, I mean, there's no disadvantage to bombing all the time, but at the same time, if you're bombing all the time, then you can't necessarily bomb when it counts. That being said, if you don't bomb at all, then fuel's gonna get you. It's not... It really makes you do 2 things at the same time, and especially in a part like this, that's borderline impossible, so... Yeah. Oh yeah, and my trick for like stages like this, just look at the right. Because I mean, yeah, your inherent instinct is to look at your ship and see what your ship's doing and see if your ship's dodging them. But if you look at the right, then you can see what what elements are coming, and then you can react accordingly. Because honestly, you don't have a lot of time to react. Because I mean, your ship's slow and they're fast, so you gotta be able to. You gotta work around that. Also, too, like Robot Unicorn Attack, I also recommend the same strategy where, like, after, like, 5,000 points or something, Unicorn's going so fast, you just gotta look at the right of the screen, see what's coming up rather than what you're doing to prevent it. But, yeah, that's Scramble. And, I mean, good, nice, slick. It's got a lot of those descriptors. And, I mean, ultimately, it's not my favorite game to play, but oh my god, 81? This game was released in 81. I've gone through a morass of games, like 83 even, and they're still not better necessarily. Okay, never mind, I take it back. Scramble is amazing. This game was in 81. If I'm ever a time traveler, I'll have to remember that. This game... Okay, now that I know that it's like one of the first sort of games like this is really impressive, actually. In fact, I dare say the other arcade developers like dropped the ball on this one. Wow, Scramble. Huh. You learn something new every day. And on that note, this cat's got a scat.